One of Dante's many jack-of-all-trade attributes is his legendary marksmanship, shown through expert handling of various firearms picked up on his many adventures. But the guns that he always keeps are them trusty Ebony and Ivory pistols. Hello, it's the Devil Joe, back again with a brand new video, and today I'm gonna find out which Devil May Cry game has the best Ebony and Ivory. Them pistols are in every single DMC game, they're the essential combo extender. As per usual, I'll be putting them into the following categories. Rapid fire, which pair shot bullets faster? Damage, which pair poked more holes into them demons? Moveset, which handguns had the dopest looking moves? To award the winning Ebony and Ivory with the World Jackpot Championship title. Without further ado, let's jump into this crazy ranking. Starting off with the OG Devil May Cry, the M19s in this game are fun to shoot. Firing at demons feels pretty satisfying. There's one thing that makes them pistols not a very viable option. Most of the time the handguns are kinda weak. Firing them off on their own only deals chip damage, nothing major. The pistols are there for juggling and being a combo intermediate. On the flip side, you can finish off the marionettes using Ebony and Ivory through the charge shots. Having Alistair or Ifrit equipped can deal some decent knockback damage, sending them flying backwards. Do it enough times, you'll kill them off. You can pull the devil trigger to get the same exact effect. It ain't the most useful option when it comes to bosses, and certain enemy types like the scissors. You'll most likely pull the sword out on more than one occasion for more damage output. When fighting the scissors, you might as well pull out the shotgun and blast them that way. The weak guns are intentional on Kamiya's part. I mean, if they were overpowered, then there wouldn't have been a single reason for you to use a melee weapon. Getting the player to park playing stylishly aside. Hell, if you'll juggle the enemies with the pistols, you gotta lift them with the sword, using a high time, then shoot them to keep them airborne. When it comes to gunslinging moves, the only thing you got is shooting straight. No firing in two different directions, no shooting the guns upside down, nothing. All in all, it's fun to use and a good template for how the guns work later on in the series. On the damage side, they're kinda weak, without any way to buff the guns. Next up is the infamous Devil May Cry 2. The Ebony and Ivory in this game is, how should I put this? The most overpowered set of handguns you'll ever get to use in a video game. All what you'll need to clear most encounters, pulling out Ebony and Ivory and mashing the square button ad nauseum. First off, it pulls off a ridiculous amount of damage to the point of offing them. No rebellion required. Oh, are you ever tired of lifting demons off the ground then shooting them? Look no further, the only thing you need are them pistols. Keep shooting them, they'll fly on their own due to the sheer force of the bullet's impact. When it comes to most bosses in DMC2, shooting them is your most viable option. You can't exactly charge the guns, but Devil Trigger's a thing. And let me tell you, them Gatling gun hands will take care of the rest of the brain-dead AI. That's on most difficulties. Plus, the firepower makes DMC2 a cakewalk most of the time. I gotta give DMC2 some credit. This is the first time in this series that Ebony and Ivory got a moveset other than shooting straight. You can now shoot in more than one direction through the twosome time. Hell, this is the first time that we've ever gotten to see the rainstorm. It ain't as stylish as it is in the later games, but it's there. And that rainstorm animation is making its way into the new anime. Technically, the handguns in the game are the most powerful that they've ever been in the series. And it came with a couple of new moves, minus charge shots. Pulling off twosome time here is more of a pain in the ass to do than it is in 5. You'll get lucky if you can get the animation to come through. Heading on to everyone's favorite longtime classic, Devil May Cry 3. The Ebony and Ivory in DMC3 are an absolute joy to fire off on their own. From the shooting sound effects and the controller rumbling, it feels like you're using the greatest pair of handguns of all time. The best part is the power output is more balanced than it was in the last two games. It's not too weak like in DMC1, it's certainly not as overpowered as DMC2's pistols. They do enough chip damage that makes killing them with the guns a slightly more viable option than it was in 1, while serving the purpose of the combo extender. Select that gunslinger, then we're starting to keep it stylish. One of the first moves you get is a simple to pull off twosome time, by pushing the stub button plus the left analog stick, baby, to enact them gun kata fantasies. With the exaggerated swagger of a down on his luck traumatized broke devil hunter, hiding behind wacky woohoo antics. Hell, you got the most powerful charge shots that the series has ever seen in my opinion. On the Hell Vanguard and other enemies, it turns the guns into the anime Ebony and Ivory, tearing through demons like paper. But it don't work that way on all the DMC3 bosses. Trust me, they're designed to stop you from spamming bullets. The AI picks up on when you're getting too trigger happy, keeping you on your toes. If you really want to get a pistol juggle in, you'll need to lift them up with that high time, then shoot them up to keep them airborne. Get one devil flat on the ground for that wall stomp. Keep shooting, then Dante feeds lead to it from one gun, then kicks him aside. It's a sick looking Dante trick fitting his overall attitude that can go into some sick looking buffers. Rainstorm is back looking way better than the DMC2 one. All what they had to do is get Dante to twist. All what you need to do is push the stop button in midair to rain bullets on their heads. Wanna make E&I work like how they did in the Madhouse anime? Rapid fire exists. Push the square and stop button to fire them pistols at the same rate as a Gatling gun, turning them devils to Swiss cheese. In short, E&I and DMC3 is perfection. It's not too overpowered or weak in any way. It's strong enough to be a reliable option to kill off a few demons, but it's not the end-all be-all option to clear most encounters like in DMC2. Plus, them guns are stylish as fuck, with moves that can be buffered along with every single toolkit you got using melee attacks. Next up on the list is the incomplete Devil May Cry 4. The handguns here are kinda lacking. I'm only talking about the standard shots, doing the same amount of damage as they did in DMC1. Tiny bits of chip damage. You might be asking, how does it fare in Gunslinger? Let me tell you, it's faster alright. It even deals more damage killing off demons quicker, while helping out dealing with them fast guys, taking their cloth off and deleting them off of the battlefield. Twosome Time is back, activating it by the simple push of the stop button, moving the analog stick along with it for that equilibrium gun kata action, to live out them Gunslinger fantasies. Rainstorms are back while Airborne hit the stop button to shoot the handguns while upside down twisting into a drill, raining bullets on them demonic heads. While rapid fire works like how it did in DMC3 melting health bars, keep it going, then Dante spins the pistols before shooting him quicker than he normally would. Known as the honeycomb fire, turning them devils into Ammantel cheese, keeping them juggles going for much longer. Charge shots do exist in this game, but they aren't anything to write home about, like the DMC3 one. All in all, E&I and DMC4 are kinda weak while shooting them on their own, but the secret lies within that Gunslinger style. They should have brought back the wall stomp trick. I definitely see Uncle Dante using it for stall points. Next up on the list is the highly anticipated Devil May Cry 5. The Ebony and Ivory in this game are back to being balanced. The damage dealt by the normal shot is decent enough to be useful, but not too overpowered to tank every single encounter in the game. It's also not weak to feel like it's useless or anything. It feels just right. Switching over to Gunslinger tells a completely different story. How the style works is by making the guns work exactly like how they do in DMC lore. The silver gun is the rapid fire M19 for quick draw times. The square button gets Dante to shoot rapid shots. Ebony is that gun meant for long distance targeting and sheer firepower. The stall button gets Dante to shoot powerful ass shots that can stun a few demons while doing some decent damage. But one problem just popped up. Twosome Time is kind of a pain in the ass to pull off. You need to push square and circle together, plus the left analog stick. I mean, bruv, I don't have an extra thumb to my name! It's a pain in the dick having two thumbs on the same side of the controller, while trying to slide a finger on the left analog stick. Shit gives me the cramps. But there's one way to get around the discomfort. Lock on plus the stall button to get it to work like how it did in 4 and 3. Targeting the closest enemy to the wacky woohoo pizza man. Charge shots are automated in Gunslinger, no need to hold down the square button, they're barely noticeable. What's noticeable is that honeycomb fire that gets Dante to rapid fire at them devils, melting health bars and keeping juggles lasting for a long time. Then we get the all-time classic Rainstorm, getting Dante to rain on bullets while twisting, with one important catch. You can move in any direction you want to move in with the left analog stick. It was a thing in Devil May Cry 4, you had to take advantage of the inertia mechanic to manipulate Dante's direction in the air. Now it's as straightforward as moving the left analog stick in any direction, no jump cancelling required. All in all, Ebony and Ivory in DMC5 are pretty damn fun to use. The lore accuracy is a nice touch, but it makes one of the moves a pain in the ass to pull off. The separation has potential for some creative combo setups. I still don't have a clue what Capcom has against Wall Stomp. It's the most Dante move in the franchise, but them pistols are still pretty fun nonetheless. Ladies and gentlemen, time for the grandstand of crowning the World Jackpot Championship title. Time to unpack this top 5! In the number 5 spot is the OG Devil May Cry. The Ebony and Ivory in this game are only here to extend combo strings, nothing less, nothing more. They don't do enough damage to be used on their own. Except for charge shots, they don't have much of a moveset, other than shooting straight. Not to mention they're too weak. In the number 4 spot is Devil May Cry 2. Them handguns are ridiculously overpowered, trivializing every single encounter in the game, making it too easy. Juggling enemies on their own, melting health bars on their own! Them guns are too good by themselves, to the point where there's no need for a goddamn sword in DMC2. But credit to where credit is due, Devil May Cry 2 is the first game to give the Ebony and Ivory pistols a moveset. like 2 sometime, even though that's a pain in the ass to pull off. DMC2 doesn't tell you how to do anything really. Hell, you even got Rainstorm. It ain't very stylish looking, but hey, it's there. It was introduced in here, making DMC2 a really good template for future entries on the pistol's moveset. In the number 3 spot is Devil May Cry 4. E and I in this game once again are too weak, dealing chip damage on them devils. Like in DMC1, that's on their own anyways. To deal any significant amount of damage is to switch to Gunslinger. To shoot them faster, adding to the damage output. Plus 2 some time for them gun kata strats. On the other hand, the charge shots are useless to say the least. Honeycomb Fire is here to more than make up for it. Keeping juggles going for longer, doing fuck off damage to enemies, and hey, just looks fucking cool. In the number 2 spot is Devil May Cry 5. The pistols here are balanced once again. Not too overpowered to tank the entire game. It's not too weak to park aside using a normal shot. Lore accuracy is a nice touch for the gunslinger style. One shooting heavy bullets stunning a few enemies, and the other gun going rapid fire on them devils. A damn good idea, even though it makes 2 sometime a pain in the ass to pull off. At least it can be done more often than in DMC2. Lock-on gets the gun kata trick to work like how it did in the other games. Rainstorm can be moved in any direction you'd like. And that Honeycomb Fire deals a crazy amount of damage. So yeah, DMC5's Ebony and Ivory are a ton of fun to use. But they're missing a few things. And the winner of the World Jackpot Championship title, Devil May Cry 3! The main reason why DMC3 wins this title is because Ebony and Ivory has everything. Balanced standard shots, stylish ass moves, gun kata 360 shots while demon surfing, wall stomps, charge shots that are actually worth a damn, rapid fire that can get you to live out them a la carte fantasies, while feeling very satisfying to use. And that's why DMC3 has the best Ebony and Ivory. Now that the World Jackpot Championship has been crowned, we come to the end of this video. What were your guys' thoughts on it? And which Devil May Cry game has the best Ebony and Ivory? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button and smash that subscribe button real impact style. Shoot the bell icon to get notified on whenever I drop a brand new Devil May Cry or other action game video. This has been the Devil Joe signing out.
Go,